Hello, grade 7. Good afternoon. Today, inshallah, we'll continue in the probability chapter 9, I think. And yesterday we took lesson 1. Lesson 1 was about how to tell if the event likely happen, unlikely happen, equally likely, certain, or impossible. Yesterday, we talked about these types of events. Certain means something you are sure about it 100%. Impossible, something will never happen. Equally likely, 50-50. Likely has big chance to happen and small chance to unhappen, right? To not happen. Unlikely, something has small chance to happen and big chance to not happen. Okay, now before we start lesson number 2, guys, let's just revise the homework of yesterday. Okay, yesterday we have homework, right? So let's revise the answers together. We are on page 513. It's as a revision of the lesson of yesterday. So let's start page 513. We will say the answers and check your answers in your book. Okay, question 1. Faris, read it, Faris.
Practice.
Faris, are you with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Practice. The spinner shown is spun once. Classify
We know the spinner, guys, right?
yes.
And the spinner has 2 cats, 3 dogs, and 1 hamster, right?
Yeah.
Read the question up.
The spinner shown is spun once. Classify the likelihood of each event as impossible, unlikely, equally likely, likely, or certain.
Good. We said impossible, something never happened, right?
Yes.
Unlikely, something has a small chance to happen, but
Yeah.
it can be happened, right?
Yeah.
Equally likely, something in middle, 50-50. Likely, something has big chance to happen, but has a small chance to unhappen. And certain, something we are very sure 100% that it will be happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, question 1. Read.
The spinner landing on dog.
The spinner landing on dog. We have 3 dogs. So if you see this, the spinner here, if it land in dog, what we call this?
Equally likely.
Equally likely. Why equally likely, guys? The whole sections is 6 sections, right? We have 3 dogs and 3 not dogs. So it has 50% because it's in the middle. 50% to happen and 50% that is not happen. So it is what? Equally
Equally likely.
likely. So question 1, guys. Sorry. Question 1, the answer should be equally likely. Give me a second, guys, please. Hello, Faris, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Question 1, guys, it is equally
Likely.
likely. Equally likely, okay?
Okay.
Equally likely. Yeah. Question 2, who can help me here, guys? Question 2, Walid. Read it, Walid.
The spinner landing on hamster.
The
Unlikely.
spinner landing on hamster.
Unlikely.
Unlikely. It has a small chance to happen, a small chance to happen, and big chance to not happen, right?
Yes, because we have only
So
one hamster.
it is what? Unlikely.
Unlikely.
Unlikely. Mumtaz. Stop. Question 3. So question 1, guys, equally likely. Question 2, unlikely. Question 3, Iyad.
Yes, Mr. The
Read.
spinner landing on dog or cat. Likely.
Dog or cat? Hmm.
Likely.
What?
Likely.
Likely. Dog
Likely.
or cat, guys, we have 5 out of 6. It has big chance to happen, right? So it will be likely.
Yes.
ممتاز. Question 4. Yazan, read. Yazan. Muhammad Yasir.
Ammar.
Ammar, sorry. Yalla, read.
The spinner landing on bird.
The spinner landing on bird. How many birds
Impossible.
we have here?
There's
Do we have
no
any
birds.
birds? There is
No.
no birds, so it won't be landing on bird. صح? So it will be what?
Impossible.
Possible. Exactly. Question 5.
The spinner landing on an animal.
No, not you, Ebony.
Yes,
Oh,
Mister.
Yalla Yazan. Question 5.
I didn't
read.
open the first when you
It's
asked.
okay, it's okay. Yalla, question 5, Habibi.
Number
Don't waste
5,
time.
the spinner
Yalla.
landing on an animal. Certain.
Certain. All of them are animal. Any place the spinner will land on is an animal. So it is what?
Certain.
Certain. Something we know sure 100% it will be happen. It is certain. Okay? Fine. Question 6. Mustafa.
Yes, sir. The spinner landing
read.
on cat. The spinner landing on cat or hamster, equally likely.
Cat or hamster, 3 sections out of 6, right? It will be what?
Yeah.
Equally
likely.
likely. ممتاز. Fine. Question 7. We have,
No.
if you take a look, guys, to this box, we have English letters. And in English letters, you know, there are vowels and consonants, right? You know that. Vowels and consonants. And the vowels are, I think, I, O, A, E, something like that.
A, E, I, O,
And the
U.
consonants, the normal numbers. I'm not sure about this. Am I right, yeah, mister? Who can help me? I'm not sure about this idea here.
Mister.
Yes. Yes, tell me.
Not number. They are word. They are letters.
ماشي. They
you
are
want
letters. But there is vowel and there is consonant. You know that?
Yes.
What's the vowels? What are the vowels?
Here A and U in this.
Here
cube,
we have A and U, right? They are
yes.
vowels. And the others are what?
are letters.
A and O. And the others are what, يبني? Constant. مش هيك؟
Constant, yes.
Yes.
مظبوط كلامي. تمام. Yes.
Yes.
Let's read the question. Question 7. مين معانا هلا؟ محمد حسن. يلا read يا محمد.
Hamster.
Read.
Select all events that are unlikely to happen.
Unlikely to happen. Look, guys, here down we have يعني 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events. Okay, 6 things. We need to select randomly for sure. And the question wants us to select the unlikely, the something that have less chance to happen, right? Read the question, the first one, yeah. Selecting what?
The letter B.
Selecting the letter B. How many letters we have in the box, yeah, Muhammad? Muhammad.
8.
8 letters. How many letters with B we have?
1.
1 out of 8. It has big chance to happen or small chance to happen?
Small child.
Likely or unlikely?
Unlikely.
So we select the first one because it is unlikely to happen. So the first one is selected, guys. It's unlikely. So question 1, the first one selected. Question 7, sorry. Part 2, read يا Selecting
Selecting
what?
the letter T.
The letter T. Do we have T here?
No. Impossible.
It has any chance to select? Is there any chance to have T here?
No, because it's
No.
impossible.
So is it unlikely, this one? T?
No, it's impossible.
Why? It is what?
Impossible.
Impossible, right? Because there is no T at all. It is
Yeah.
unlikely. It's not unlikely. صح يا محمد?
Yeah.
يلا next. Selecting
Select a vowel or S.
a vowel. How many vowels here we have?
2.
1, 2, and S, 3, right? 3
Yeah.
out of 8. It is close to the half, right?
Yeah.
So it has a chance, and not so big chance, but it's close to half, right? So it is still likely here.
Yeah.
Equally
Yeah.
likely, sorry. Then selecting what?
Selecting a constant or a vowel.
And we have we have A, O, E, right? These are the vowels. I forgot
Yeah.
E. With S, how many vowels we have? How many choices we have? 4. 4 out of 8. It is in the middle.
Certain.
No, Yabni. I'm talking about the previous one. A vowel or S.
Yeah.
Here we have 4 out of 8. It's not unlikely. It's equally likely, right? Now the next one, selecting what?
Yeah, it's equal. A
The next
constant
one.
or a vowel.
Constant, or all of them are constant or vowel, right?
Yeah, so
So
it's
it is what?
certain.
Certain, not unlikely. You don't select. Then selecting a constant or
a
A.
constant or A.
How many constants we have?
Likely.
It is
Likely.
likely. It has big chance, more than 4, right? The last one,
Yeah.
read.
Selecting the letter Q or R.
Q or R. How many Q or R we have? 2. 2 out of
2.
what?
Unlikely.
يا ابني
Unlikely.
الولد بيحكي. 2 out of what يا
Unlikely.
محمد? Out of
2 out of 8.
Small chance, right? So it is what?
Yeah.
Unlikely.
Unlikely.
So in question 7, guys, the only 2 events with unlikely chance is the first one and the last one.
And
So the first
last
one and what?
The last one.
The last one. Check them both. Next, question 8, guys. It has similar idea. Let's see it together. Dawood. Read it, Dawood.
Okay.
Yes.
Multi-select. Select all of the following events that are equally likely to happen as not to happen.
يلا يعني 50-50 مش هيك؟
صح. Yes.
يلا طبعا depending with the same box up. يلا selecting what?
The letter B.
Is it 50-50% to happen?
No.
No, it is unlikely. It has one B. Down, selecting what?
Selecting the letter E.
Is it 50-50?
No, unlikely.
No. Then
Selecting a vowel or S.
a vowel or
It is-
S. How many vowels we have? 3. How many S we
3.
have? 4.
1.
So we have 4 out of 8. Is it or no?
Yes.
Yes. So the first selection will be the third one, guys, in question 8. The third one. The third one. Check the third one. Then you read.
Selecting a constant or a vowel.
Constant or vowel. It is certain. All of them are constant or vowel, right?
Yes.
Next.
Selecting a consonant or a.
Constant. He is constant, by the way. He consonant, I think. Okay.
consonant. Yeah.
No.
Consonant. Okay. Or a. I thought it's constant, by the way. I don't know. Yeah. Or a. What's this? How many consonants we have?
Unlikely.
We have a.
B.
No, we have. Wait. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It is likely. It is likely.
Yeah.
The last one, read.
Selecting the letter Q, R, B, or K.
How
Yes.
many? We have 4. 4 out of what?
But it is equally likely.
Equally likely. 4 out of 8. Maybe 50-50.
Yeah.
So here the third and
The last.
also
And the last one.
the last. This is the answers, guys. The key answers for your homework. Equally likely, number 1. Number 2, unlikely. 3, likely. 4, impossible. 5, certain. 6, equally likely. 7, you select the first and the last. 8, you select the third and the last. Done. Now let's move to lesson 2. relative frequency of simple events. Okay, now to understand this lesson, guys, let's understand this idea here. So leave everything, leave the homework, leave everything, just focus with me here on the board, please, okay? Now, all of us, we know the dice, not the rice, the dice. You know the dice which is the number cube. اللي بيلعبوا سلم وحي بيعرفوه. Number cube. Number cube, you know the number cube, it's a cubic with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces. So if we roll, if we flip the number cube, what are the choices we will have? Either 1 or 2,
3, 4, 5, 6.
or 4 or 5 or 6. We won't have 7. It has no 7. We won't have 0 or negative. It has no 0 or negative. We will have these choices or only. The number cube, guys, the dice, okay?
نرد.
أيوة حجر النرد, exactly. Now, this dice, guys, has 6 options. Assume, I'm assuming that you flip this dice 30 times. I'm assuming that I do the trial or the experiment of flipping a dice how many times? 30 times.
30.
And during these 30 times, after طبعا I flip and record my result, right?
Yes.
After I flip the 30 times, assume that I get the number 2, I get to 10 times. 10 times get
20.
the number 2. معلش لا حد يحكي. Again, guys, I have the number cube, the dice, حجر النرد, and the options you have 1, 2, 3, 4 to 6. I'm assuming here that I flipped this dice 30 times. And I'm assuming also that after I finish the 30 times, I have 10 times we get the face 2. Okay? Now, I can find something we call it relative frequency of simple event. Rolling a 2 is the simple event. So rolling 2 is my simple event. Event, something will happen or will not happen in the future. I don't know. It's in our God's hand, right? In our God's hand. Right. Now, if I roll 2 10 times out of 30 times, then the relative frequency will be equal. How to find something? We call it relative frequency. Relative frequency. Now, the relative frequency, I'll call it RF. RF means what? Relative frequency of the event. What's the event? Rolling 2. بدي 2 أنا ما بدي النمبر 6 بدي 2 بس. The rolling relative frequency equal 10 over the total number of trials. Trials means how many times you make the experiment, you make the game. How many times? 30 times. So I have the number cube. I flipped it 30 times. After the 30 times, I record how many times we get to. اشمعنى 2? It is only a question. I can ask about 5, 6, 3, any number. But now the relative frequency is the number of the times that you get what you want over the total number of trials. The total number of trials. Okay? This what we call it, guys, relative frequency. Now the relative frequency, it's a fraction. Up is the part, down is the whole. Whole of what? The whole number of times. Now we can make simplest form. We know the simplest form. Divide on 10 up and down, it will be 1 over 3. 1/3, we call it relative frequency. Means, what this means? Each 3 times you roll the cube, you have 1 time with what? With 2. This is in general what we call it relative frequency. Okay? Now, let's go to our lesson and see example 1 together. Example 1. Page 'Before we go to example 1, guys, I want you to read something here. Let's read some informations here. And what here important, guys, beside it, it's important. In our exams and assignments, I will ask you about these informations here, okay? Yeah, let's read things here. It's important. Let's read. Dawood, read it, Dawood. Yalla.
Okay. Learn relative frequency. Probability is the chance what an event will occur. A
Again.
simple event is
لحظة شوي.
one
Again.
outcome.
حبيب. Again.
Probability
Probability is what?
is the chance that an event will occur.
تمام. Will occur. That means there is no what. Okay. Now, what is the probability, guys? When I tell you, sorry. When I tell you today there is a person, let's say 5% that it will rain at night. Something will happen, not already happened. Yesterday, we know that it was no rain, right? So I cannot say,
Yes.
oh, I think it will rain yesterday. No, we don't say that. We already passed yesterday. I'm talking about the coming time. I think it have 5% to rain this night or the coming day or tomorrow, okay? So what is the probability? It is the chance that something will, not already, no, will occur, will, حيصير يعني مش صار. كمل.
A simple event is one outcome or a collection of outcomes.
Hello, wait. Here, I want you to know what is the simple event. Here, the number cube trial, if you roll the number cube 1 time, these are the choices you have, right? From 1 to
Yes.
6. Assume that you roll it 1 time and you get 5. The next time you get 6. The third time you get 1. The 5th time you get 4. These guys, we call them simple what? Events. Simple events. And if we put 2 together, also simple events from the whole group. This is the whole group for the number cube. But if I tell you I want the whole group of the odd numbers from 1 to 9 or to 10, what are they? It is 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9. So it depends on the question and what the question wants from you. So the simple event again is what? Read.
Is a one outcome or a collection of outcomes.
Good. For example,
an event can occur when tossing a coin.
hello, spinning a spinner. When we toss a coin, guys, the coin either head or tail. But you toss a coin and you have head. What we call the head? Simple event. The spinner, which we did in the previous lesson, if the spinner lands on dog, what we call this? Simple event. It is outcome from the experiment. Outcome. Result. Okay? Continue.
Or choosing a card at random for a stack of cards.
Good.
When you perform one of these tasks, you are conducting one trial of a probability experiment.
Good. Experiment, you know that. Continue.
You can use the results of a probability experiment to compare the number of favorable outcomes to the total number of outcomes.
Favorable, guys. Look here. This word. Favorable outcome means the outcome which the question wants you to know about. Means here, I said, assume 10 times you get 2. But I have only 2 here? No. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Why I ask you about the 2 only? I'm what? I'm assuming, that's all. So this, at this case here, we call, to get to, we call favorable outcome. Means the thing which the question asks you about. Okay, this is important. Continue.
This is the relative frequency of the event.
Good. Now سيبك من الwords انزل لتحت على الراتيو. See the ratio?
Yes.
Well, relative frequency equal up what we have. Read يا ابني.
Ratio. A number of favorable outcomes.
Over
Total number of outcomes.
number of favorable outcomes over the total number of outcomes. Look here, guys. Number of favorable outcomes, we said it is 2. How many times? 10. Over what? The total number. أنا كم رميته هذا؟ كم مرة حكيت؟ 30 times. I want 2. How many times we get 2? 10. What's the relative frequency? 10 over 10. Okay, guys, hope you understand it very well. And try to read this paragraph again and again. I will ask you about it. I'll ask you, I'm sure. Now let's see example 1 together. Yalla, new students. Abdullah. Read Abdullah.
Yes, mister.
Yalla, Abdullah, read.
The animation shows that Louis
Which page
has-
أول يا حبيبي معلش؟ Page 517, right?
Yes.
Example
Yes.
1.
Example 1, page 517, guys. Read يا Abdullah.
Find relative frequencies. A number cube with sided labels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is rolled 20 times. The number 5,
Then how many times they rolled the number cube? How many times?
20.
20 times. This is the total, right?
Yes.
20 times rolled. Okay? Okay, Abdullah?
Yes.
Yalla, continue.
The number 5 is rolled 4 times.
How many times we have 5?
4.
4 times having what? 5.
5.
صح?
Yes.
So we have the total number of trials 20 times. What is the favorable outcome is what? The face with 5. Why? The question wants that, not me. Okay? The question talks about 5. This is our favorable outcome. يعني هذا هو الاوتكم اللي حنحكي عنه. Okay? Continue.
What is the relative frequency of rolling a 5?
Good. Now we want to find the relative frequency of rolling what?
5.
Yeah. Tell me, what is the relative frequency of having 5?
4 over 20. The
4
number
over
of
20.
times-
The relative frequency of having 5 is the number, the real number that you already have 5, which is 4 times, over
the
what we
total
said, the total number of experiment, the trials, which is how much?
20.
This 4 over 20, Abdullah, we can make it simplest
4.
form, right? We can make it simplest form. Can you tell me how we make the 4 over 20 simplest form?
Divide 4 both sides.
Exactly. So this will be, if you divide up and down by 4, it will be what? 1?
1 over 5.
Hello. 1 over 5. So I write the relative frequency as fraction simplest form, right?
Yes. The
Can I
ratio
write
is-
it as decimal, ya Abdullah?
Yes.
How we write it as decimal?
Multiply 20 both sides.
No, decimal.
Multiply 20 both sides.
ماشي decimal. خلك من المultiply. If we have a fraction and we want to make it decimal, what we do?
We
تعرف
make it
هاي؟
100.
هاي تعرفها؟
Yes.
اعملها. 1 over 5 means what here in the division?
5 in the divisor.
أيوة. 1 over 5 means 1 divided by 5. Fraction, guys. The fraction is division already. Now 1 can divide on 5.
0.2.
Abdullah? No. We put 0 decimal and here we add what? 10. Grade 5 or 6, I think that's. So 10 divided by 5 is 2.
2.
10 subtract 0. So what's the decimal? How much?
0.2.
0.2.
Sir,
You are saying,
Mr.
معلش اهدى يا ابني. Abdullah was saying multiply by 20, multiply by 20. ماشي, let's multiply by 20 to see what we will have. Now 1 over 5, look here guys. I want to multiply up with down with 20. When we do this guys, when we want to go to percent, you know the percent, this one?
Yes.
Percent, okay? The percent, the denominator should be 100 always.
Yes. And the
How we make the
number
5 to be 100? By
multiply
multiplying with 20. So I multiply up with down with 20. But if here I multiply up and down with 5, I'll get the same answers, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So here will be 20 over what?
100.
Over 100.
And
The
the
20
numerator
over 100,
is the percent.
it is percent. 20%, like this. Now let's take a look to the whole solutions here.
Mr.
By the
The
way-
period finish.
لا يا زلمة.
The next period start.
Oops, slide. We stop here, guys, in example 1. We already finished it. Tomorrow, just we will clarify it more. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I'm just stalling by time. Thank you.
No problem, Mr.
No, it's
Bye.
no problem. Bye.